were you not, on a gay cruise.
Now, you're 120% dick fit.
Everybody at that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
But we don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room, and you return the favor.
Gonorrhea. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode that is actually live from the lair. No, it actually is. Now, today's show, we're going to be covering some of the craziness that has taken place in the past couple weeks, mainly a rundown of individuals in Louisiana and the Tesla pickup truck incident at one of the Trump Towers. Now, they call this conspiracy theory. I say it's conspiracy theory, which is a prediction of shit that really has taken place. Now, we're going to cover some other stuff that has taken place in the past that is pretty much confirmed that alphabet agencies have done on our very own soil, so we're not bullshitting you. There's probably a good reason why the JFK assassination paperwork and investigations has never truly been released. Mainly, we have individuals operating within our very own government that, in my opinion, does not have the best interests of the citizens of this country in mind. All right, now, I filmed another zombie apocalypse on the whiteboard. It should be out in a couple weeks. But rumor control is, at a minimum, there are 15,000 enemy combatants within the United States. And that's just enemy combatants. That's not drug cartels, gangs, and all the other craziness that has come through the north and the south borders over the past 4 years. We have blue hellhole cities with Soros district attorneys that have been letting these people literally go as soon as they're arrested. There are incidents out there with individuals having dozens of contacts with the police who are in this country illegally and did vile, despicable acts. And nothing is being spoken about it. In fact, we had those two events take place just last week, and there's no more chatter on the mainstream media about it because our mainstream media has been weaponized against you. Fortunately, there's a lot of people out there, the people in the middle who are not huffing on the bong of stupid dumbassery, who have realized that the mainstream has been lying to them for quite some time, and they're tuning out. And they're tuning in to the live streams and the shows on the internet, or the people who dare to tell you the truth, or at least their opinion of what's going on, with some, opinions and investigation and evidence to back that up. All right. Now, we watched some of the big talking heads get kicked off the net over the past, or the airwaves over the past couple of years. Like Tucker Carlson is one of them. And they're not going to be able to shut us up because we have the freedom of speech, at least until, Big Daddy China takes over and takes it away from us, which I hope that never happens. And if it does, things are going to get lively up in here. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I love this country. I have risked my life and my immortal soul for this country. But I fear my government. Plain and simple. They have dropped the ball to the point of lunacy. And I would dare say we don't actually have a federal government left. And most of the states are right behind them. They have sold out so hardly and so deeply. They are as corrupt as you can get. They're literally running this country like a mob boss and his underdog cronies. This needs to change. The best way to do it is from the bottom up. So if you guys are out there, you might want to consider running for offices and doing what needs to be done to take back this country. We got here without them firing a shot. We should be able to take it back the same way, hopefully. But I'll say this once, and I said it again. You can vote your way into socialism, but once it takes hold, you're going to have to shoot your way out. That's just the way it goes. We got Battle Dwarf in the house. All right.
Greetings. Good evening.
All right. Now we have a, what is it? A GoFundMe we have to mention for an individual, a longtime participant and supporter of the show, who's had some tragedy befall him.
Yep.
Pull that up.
Ton mail.
Boom.
Stand by.
All right. Now,
Uh,
hopefully the notifications are getting out there to people. We have had a lot of people, come into the comments on some of the videos going, "Hey, I'm not getting notifications," or "I've been unsubscribed," and that has been
yeah.
taking place on the regular with us, at least for.
YouTube has been unsubscribing 200 to 250 people a day. And I've got screenshots of all of it.
Yep.
So
I
if
don't-
you think you've been unsubscribed, well, you probably have.
Correct.
That's what I'm seeing on the inside. So I'm not going to show this part because it's sitting in my own email and I don't want to. Well, you don't need to see all that. Anyway, between Christmas and New Year's, my baby girl passed away at 33 years of age, leaving behind 2 children. My older daughter has been handling all of the arrangements and set up a GoFundMe for the funeral expenses. I'm fucked and devastated. She was battling demons. Would you please raise a cup and spread the word and share the link on the show? We can all use help from unseen friends. The GoFundMe is here. Let me bring that up real quick. Let's help a brother out. It is, $1 here, $10 there adds up real fast. Let's show some support for, this family in their time of need. I'll make sure to get the link out. Jimmy's got it. He'll post it for the show. Here's in the Rumble, and I will reach over here and put it in the YouTube.
Just put it on the
let's
YouTube.
Make sure to take. Yeah, I just did. Just
okay.
Let's make sure to take care of each other, guys. It's important, especially this time of year. This kind of shit's really hard.
Yeah, listen, that is one of the. I don't know how I'd handle that if that happened to me. I don't think I'd bounce back at all. And,
that's tough. That's tough stuff,
him, man.
Absolutely. We lost another one of our guys in my community. Mike Cassidy, 61 years old. He was a sergeant first class who didn't even make it to 61. So there's a lot of that stuff going around, but pray for this guy and his daughter. And if you can help out, there's the link in the Rumble and the YouTube. Do what you can.
And we also have another life saved. We'll either read it later on today or on Thursday.
Oh, you're going to read it on Thursday?
No, we can read it today. If do you have it on hand?
I don't have it on hand.
That's fine.
Think.
I'll dig it up. You just
dig it up.
Carrying on. All right. Life.
Like a genius, I just closed the wrong window there. I'm no good at this producer stuff. I'm not a producer.
You'll get better.
I'll get better. It'll be fine. Nobody's gonna die. Well, I shouldn't say nobody's gonna die because that's not how it worked out, is it? I've got I have my fun new microphone. My wife calls it the dick mic. So
yeah.
Suspect identified as FBI investigates act of terrorism after Bourbon Street attack. Now, I know all of us out there have our own fun conspiracy theories that we believe in and all of that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff out there that I think is silly. There's a lot of stuff that I believe. But I'll tell you what. 2 attacks in one day.
Yeah.
No, this is not organic. I don't care who says what. There's no way this was organic. And sure enough, both of these clowns were on the FBI radar.
Listen,
it's like
everybody who goes through that much training in the military is going to be on the radar. I'm on the radar. You're on the radar.
I'm on all the best lists, man.
Yeah.
I'm on like 5 lists.
Yeah. I haven't made the no-flight list yet, but,
I'm not on the no-fly list, but I'm definitely on the knock on the door list. I found that one out. God. This is active terrorism after Bourbon Street attack. First of all, this guy, let's see if I've got Yeah, here's the suspect identified. No, slow your roll there, little thing. Okay, at least 10 people were dead and dozens injured after a driver plowed a pickup truck into the crowd. 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar of Texas. First of all, you're not from Texas, okay? I'm tired of playing the whole diversity is your friend. We have to like all of these people crap. These people walk around blatantly talking about wanting to kill us. It's a fucking problem.
Yes, you're correct.
It's
And
a problem.
listen,
You can't have this shit.
no, just hear me out here on this one.
I'm hearing you.
This guy has been divorced like 3 times,
Yes.
living in a shack. All right. So when you strip away all of the hope from somebody, you can easily flip them to the dark side and
Oh, yeah,
radicalize
absolutely.
them.
Absolutely. It looks like that's exactly what happened to this guy,
Yeah.
too. He ended up radicalizing with some guys at a local mosque in Texas again. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for how I feel about this stuff. These people who radicalize, these radical Islamists that we know that are here in the United States, they have to go.
Yeah.
You don't keep a rabid dog in your back fucking yard.
That's right. But hear me out, though.
Okay.
So we've just had the Supreme Court make this big ruling. I think it was 5 or 6 months back about alphabet agencies making rules that were implemented as laws. So we have all kinds of people who are in the prison system who will be out probably shortly because of this overturning. And they spent maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 decades in there. Do you think when they, were like, oh, our bad, you're free now, do you really think they're going to be all like kumbaya?
Yes.
No.
Not gonna end well.
No.
It's
And then
definitely
we
not
have
gonna
the
end well.
divorce courts.
Yeah.
Literally.
Rumor has it Biden let a couple of guys go from Gitmo, too.
Yeah. But literally, we have divorce courts wrecking men, turning them into homeless beggars because
That's going to be a big one.
a woman said, I'm not happy. And then we have a judge hitting a gavel on a piece of wood. So you're going to have all of those guys looking for, get a little piece of somebody's ass as well.
Before Christmas, we read the letter from our guy up in Grayling.
Yeah. Yeah.
The shit that he's being put through. He's a 100% disabled veteran, and this judge is just stripping all of his assets and telling him to his face in court that he's not a good father. What is that going to do to people? And what happens when you do that to the wrong people too many times? Because you and I, we've got quite a bit of discipline. We both come from disciplined skill sets. They're totally different things. You were a green beanie. I did intelligence, but they're highly disciplined skill sets. You get enough 0311s that go through this shit and their discipline's going to go out the window and they're going to go, screw the tanks. Let's go.
Gotcha. Hey, can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Am my volume low?
A little bit. Yeah.
Is that better?
Do a test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3.
It's a little better. All right. But yeah, I mean, we have a system that is literally attacking half of the population.
Yeah.
And that population provides, protects, maintains the civilization that we have. What do you think is going to fucking happen? I think this goat rodeo is going to get much worse.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to say about the running over guy is why did you take it out on innocent people?
Because they get radicalized.
I know.
And have you ever been around somebody who's actually radicalized? The worst radicalization I ever saw was in the prison guards from the North Korean camps. Okay. I watched their faces come apart when they realized what they had done. Because they had been radicalized and contained inside that radicalization bubble the entire time. And after a couple of days of talking to these guys, it dawns on them that what they were doing not only to fellow human beings, but to fellow Koreans. And I mean, we had them, those guys were on suicide watch all the time. all the fucking time we had him on suicide watch. And this bubble for this stuff is gonna burst. Look, I don't want it. You and I both talk about it all the time. Nobody wants the shooty shit. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We don't want any part of that. But these things, these family courts, these incidents like this, the rape shit that's going on in England, the rapé. Sorry, YouTube. Didn't mean to algorithmize you. The stuff that's going on in the UK right now. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when some guy is going to go, you know what?
I've had enough.
I've had enough. And it's going to be one of the guys that knows how to do something.
Yeah. And listen, when you have enough people that are revved up, you're going to get the mob.
Mm-hmm.
And the mob is not a good thing. Mob justice is only justice in name.
Yep.
Mainly because it's not like the standard justice where you laser focus, get the people involved. Mob, it just envelops everyone around that person, and it gets ugly quick. And you can use any historical example you wish.
There's a worse case scenario than a pissed off 0311 who gets a hold of a couple of weapons. And that's a guy who figures out how to speak. And the next thing you know, you've got an infantry corporal taking over the entire country. Sound familiar at all?
Yeah.
Sound familiar? I mean, I'm serious. If one of these guys figures out how to start talking and he manages to make it through without being chucked in the, clipped by somebody, they'll try and kill somebody like that right away. If somebody like that pops up. 0311 is Marine Infantry. Sorry, I see you over there in the corner.
11 Bravo.
Yes, 11 Bravos, 0311s. Sorry, we know these things.
Listen, 0311,
I'm serious. It's just a matter of
Marine Infantry, and they fight stupid. You can leave you can comment below if you wish, but they fight stupid. They treat their people like shit. I'm just saying. All right.
That's true.
Listen.
True.
The Marine Corps puts out the best infantry guy on the planet right off of Paris Island, and then they treat him like absolute dog shit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. It's my understanding that being in front of a Marine Corps blender is not a great thing, though.
No.
I wouldn't want to be the guy standing in the window going, "Oh, it's the Marines. Oh, it's going to be a bad day."
All right, check your email. I forwarded to you, the life saved.
The life, yeah.
He doesn't want his name mentioned, though.
It's fine. I understand. Let's see here. Okay. And I'm not even going to identify the specific city, but we're going to call you Bravo.
Okay.
For your initial. Bravo is from England. I've been watching you for just over 6 years now, from August, reliving past trauma and abuse, physical and emotional, which I won't get into here. It's getting to the point where I was not sleeping, taking it on my wife and 2 kids, and getting to the point where I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore. About 4 weeks ago, I hit rock bottom, and I wanted it all to stop, the pain that I was going through, as well as the pain I was putting my family through. So I set up a noose on a tree in my back garden, which means yard in English. Knocked back 2 bottles of Jameson Black Barrel while watching video gross mistreatment.
I love that. I love Black Barrel.
Yeah. While watching the video gross mistreatment, which is where I saw your Purple Heart's final beat for the first time, which helped me to realize that I can get through this dark patch in my life. I thank you and all of your lads for helping me to push through this, to get my life back on track and push through every blockade that stands in my way. Welcome to the regiment, Bravo. Welcome to the regiment, man.
You are now
Purple Heart's final beat has that effect. I sat there and thought about what I had watched the first time I saw Purple Heart's final beat for probably actually, it was at your house.
Yeah.
And you showed it to me. Do you remember me just sitting at the kitchen table?
Yeah, you were
kind of looking. Yeah. Yeah, I was
like tears ran down his face. He goes, "You fucking hit the bullseye."
Yeah. Yep. So welcome number 555.
Triple nickel, baby.
You are triple nickel. That's a legendary Green Beret team, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't say why. It's under an NDA, but they're legendary. May have had something to do with Bolivia, but I won't say anymore. Welcome to the regiment, man. And we're glad that you decided to stick it out and push through. You will not regret your decision.
And here's the thing about the Purple Hearts Final Beat video. That thing won awards, and it got almost 0 play on YouTube. So if you guys look it up, Purple Hearts Final Beat, it's not under my channel, it's under Blake's, and pass it around to the guys. It is incredibly powerful. It came out in 2009, and by the beginning or first 1/3 of 2011, we had somewhere between 115 and 120 guys credit that one video from keeping the gun out of their mouths.
Yeah, that it is to this day, it is dead nuts on. It's just exactly tells the story.
Mm-hmm. The numbers are worse now, but
much worse now.
Much
yeah,
worse,
actually. But anybody out there that's hearing our voices, and anybody out there who knows somebody who needs to hear this stuff, we will talk to you. Pop and I both will happily engage if it means keeping you from making a stupid permanent decision for a temporary problem.
Yep.
We've been doing this for a minute, longer than me, but
now listen, this is the way it works. As a man, the universe is not going to ride to the rescue. The cavalry is not coming.
Yep.
The best I could do is ride by, kick off some tools so you can save yourself. That's exactly what I do here. And we've put together the administrative violence, divorce and custody edition, workman survival guide to help the single guys out there. I wrote a whole book, The Warrior's Way and the Soldier's Soul, to help people deal with the craziness, because the power of what I'm doing here is actually contained in that one booklet. If you can read between the lines, you can easily get that for yourself. And I'm not trying to sell you shit. I'm trying to help you here.
It took me 5 months to unpop that motherfucker. That was in your early phase. That was in your early phase when your writing was just pure stream of consciousness, and you would just write down whatever you were thinking. And I'd what the fuck does this mean? You know? What the fuck is this? What are you trying to say? Months of that shit.
Yeah, it's like every other
Your writing
day.
has gotten tons better, but that particular one was just stream of consciousness. I was like, wow, why?
It had to be done. And
That's
I was
all right.
compelled by the universe to write that damn book.
That's a good book. It's a good book. It's a good book, man.
All right.
Geez, oh Pete, let's get back on. We got
off the weeds there.
We read number 555 aboard, man. So the subject has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas. I hate that. I hate their ass kissing. He was driving a Ford pickup, which appears to have been rented, and we are working to confirm how the subject came into possession of the vehicle. He and the Vegas guy both rented through a rental thing called Turo.
Yep.
Where you can borrow cars from people. It's not actually from a rental car agency. It's somebody else's car.
Huh.
So they both added dick move to their attacks because those cars belong to somebody else. This is at a press conference on Wednesday. Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's like an actual additional step to try to cover who's actually behind it.
It's a shitty one if it is, which tells me that it's that the FBI had them on their radar.
Yeah.
This is amateur tradecraft. This is like the lamest shit I've ever seen. Now, this particular guy, this clown was a 28 Lima was his MOS, which apparently is some sort of a computer wonk.
Okay.
They've changed all the numbers. I don't know the numbers anymore. The 74s used to be the computer wonks in the Army. Now apparently they're 28s. But that he would take an action like this after basically being a desk jockey his whole life is shocking.
It is shocking. I'm not going to say it's impossible.
Yeah.
Now, he did serve
Yeah,
on Fort Bragg along with the Green Beanie. I mean, Fort Bragg is the home of the Green Beanies.
Wait, Fort Bragg has hundreds of commands, dude. There's like 230 commands on Fort Bragg.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. They've got.
So here's our boy right here.
Uh-huh.
This guy, Mr. Suit wearing fella here, he was an information technology team leader at U.S. Army Reserve, information management officer at U.S. Army. This is off of his LinkedIn that somebody managed to get before they took it down. Senior information systems specialist, U.S. Army, human resources supervisor at U.S. Army, data entry operator, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, entry clerk at U.S. Postal Service. This guy didn't work like we worked right alongside of you guys because we did your commo and your signals.
Correct. But here's the thing.
This guy just ran databases of the human resources for units like that.
Yeah, but look at his credentials. I mean, he was living in a shack. He couldn't make his child support and alimony payments.
Yeah.
So guess what? You have nothing left to live for. Or you have nothing left to lose. You become infinitely more dangerous. Now, unfortunately, like I've said before, I am not a fan of taking it out on innocent people.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know, if I would have read the story, if I'd have read the story where, you know, he went and did some crazy stuff to people who were actually on paper for fucking his life up, I'd be I wouldn't condone it, but I would understand it. But you drive through a crowd of people just walking down the street. I cannot.
Well, this guy definitely has enough stuff that pushed him to have his last meal at the Aloha snack bar.
Yes.
Okay. I get that. But let's see here. A Glock handgun and 38 caliber rifle equipped with optics and a sensor recovered from the crime scene, blah, 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 according to high level source, who was not authorized to discuss details of the investigation publicly. That always happens. Leaks are so common these days.
Yes.
And an ISIS flag was also found on the pickup truck,
which they covered up almost immediately.
Who created ISIS?
The CIA,
Christians in Action, and Mossad.
Correct.
They created ISIS. That's ISIS never attacked a serious U.S. target or an Israeli target in its heyday, in which was 2006 thereabouts.
But like whenever they do shit like that, it's just a matter of time before they lose control of it, which they did.
Yes,
and it went crazy.
One of the big things with these clowns is they really think they can control, and by these clowns, I mean Christians in Action and the other agencies, really think they can control these operations and control these operators, these rogue elements, and dude, you can't.
That's right.
And this has been going on a long damn time. False flags is nothing new. There's false flags that date back to the Roman times.
Now, the guy in New Orleans, he had explosive devices.
Yes.
Now, read off the weapons again.
Glock and 308 caliber rifle equipped with optics and a sensor. In other words, a scary black rifle chambered for 308.
It was an AR-10 probably.
Okay.
You can get one at PSA for $900. It's a damn good system.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not the shooty guy. I'm the beep boop guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm a former shooty guy, so I understand.
Yeah.
Now, I just don't understand. Like, for instance, the chief of police in New Orleans, she looked like.
Oh my God, she's a joke. She looks like the freaking lunch lady.
She needs to eat a sandwich. Number one. Number two, you could tell she's a diversity hire. So
yes,
They are not qualified to do the job. And we saw that, and people paid with their lives.
Yep.
Because there were blockades they could have put in place that they didn't. And she said she didn't know about them.
The bollards were malfunctioning.
Correct.
They have bollards for that section of the street. For those of you out there who don't know what a bollard is, it's the pillars that they sink into the pavement, and you push a button and they go whoop, so you can't get a car through there. I mean, you could theoretically get a vehicle through there, but it would get to the other side in pieces.
Yeah.
Because those bollards will shred your vehicle.
But they had other ones that were not retractable that they could put in their place when they failed. And
you just drop some concrete barriers in there, paint them a pretty color, off you go.
Yeah.
It's not exactly rough security. In Germany, they dropped cement barriers a couple of years back when the Christmas attacks were happening. And put wrapping paper on the damn things.
And didn't Germany have the big attack too?
Just a couple, They had during the Christmas market a couple of weeks back.
So this is not just an American thing. You're going to see this taking place in the Western world, where all of the mass immigration or migration is taking place.
I'm not going to go further than to say that it's going on right now, but we're going to do a show. I'm telling you right now, we're going to do a show on what's going on in England, because the wheels are coming off of the Rapé cart over there. And we really need to do a show on that.
The first ones that are going to flip out over there are the Irish, because they're only a couple decades removed from the IRA operations.
They will only take. When I was a teenager, I spent a lot of time down in Corktown. Friday nights were fight night. You went out and you looked for fights, and these were just teenage Irish kids.
Yeah,
Sammy Meadow and a couple of the other guys. We go down to Corktown and then go downtown, over by St. Andrew's Hall or something, and just look for fights.
Yep,
and that's like their normal behavior. And they've got hundreds of years of this behavior, probably 2,000 years of this behavior. Actually, they're brawlers by nature, and those wheels are coming off. I guarantee you, the Irish wheels are coming off.
Yes. You can only take so much, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a little bit of false flaggery. Starting with Operation Northwoods, a U.S. military proposal to disrupt Cuba. Now, this one I actually know something about. We studied it a little bit at one of the schoolhouses. Basically, we were subverting everything going on amongst the Cubans and in Miami. A lot of that was going on in Miami, New York, and Washington, D.C. There's a lot of Cubans that live in those areas.
There was training camps in Florida.
Yeah.
Where they were training.
Absolutely correct. Yep. They were going to target an empty ship in Guantanamo Bay and blame it on Havana. That doesn't sound familiar at all. There was no such thing as the USS Liberty or the one off the coast of Vietnam.
Or remember the Maine?
Yeah, or the Maine. This has never been done before. Conduct a funeral for mock victims. In March 1962, plans were reportedly presented to Kennedy. That kind of stuff goes on all the time. Look, this is on a site called Spyscape, and apparently they do weird things like have dating parties where they teach you to be spies and stuff. So let's ignore that because that's silly.
Now, another thing, and this is just rumor control.
Yeah.
But we prepared all of these people to take back Cuba. They executed the operation. There were glowy people on the ground, taking charge, leading these individuals. And then Kennedy just said no air support, and they got creamed. Those are not the people that you want to do that to, because they will fuck you up.
They'll wait too. The scary thing about people like that is they'll wait. They'll wait until they think you've forgotten what's going on.
Yep.
And then they'll come and knock on your door, and it will be way too late by the time you figured out.
Or they'll have some patsy who could shoot 3 rounds out of a bolt action in 6 seconds or less and score 2 out of 3 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Operation TP Ajax. This was the coup attempt in Iran in the 50s, and the CIA did it again and succeeded when they took out the Shah. The Iranian government is entirely the fault of our CIA. It's Marxist Muslims, which is a huge contradiction, but extremely dangerous
Yes.
because they've got no conscience. They don't have any kind of a conscience at all. I mean, they hang women from cranes for not wearing hijabs, things like that.
Actually, remember like, in the United States, they have these traveling carnivals that go around to different cities for they make their living traveling around with the rides and the swingy things and what have you. In Iran and other countries in the Middle East, they have traveling gallows where they just show up and hang people.
Yes, that's true. That is an accurate statement.
It's like their carnival. It is disgusting, but it happens.
Yep. TP Ajax was to carry out attacks on mosques, which could be blamed on Iranian communists loyal to the government. CIA destroyed almost all the files in the proposed 53 coup, so full details aren't clear. Big shock.
Yep.
So it's all kinds of fun to find out that we are at fault for a lot of this stuff. Operation Susanna.
Hang on. Most of the fucked up governments in South America
are our fault.
Are our fault. 100%.
Yep.
All right, continue on. I'm sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. 1954, Israeli army is suspected of recruiting Egyptian Jews who were caught with plans to bomb American, British, and Egyptian targets in Egypt. I remember this one. Clearly, I wasn't there for it, but I remember reading about this one. The Israelis it was just after they got Israel, 1947, and they were trying to start shit all over the Mediterranean to get more support for the newly formed Israel. Plot was exposed by Egyptian authorities before it began, much like the Nakam of 1946. You want to look that one up. The Nakam of 1946 is really nasty. Israeli Defense Minister Penis Levan resigned, but was he really to blame? Documents later released indicate that the head of military intelligence, Colonel Benjamin Gilley, may have acted without Levan's approval. Look, this is reality. I don't care who thinks what. Call me whatever you like. We cooperate with the Israelis on stuff like this far too often.
Correct.
And it's the whole getting involved in other people's shit thing that pisses me off.
Well, here's the thing that really bothers me. There's two parts. One, it's none of our fucking business. And two, I'm sick of paying for it.
Yeah.
I have nothing against
blood and treasure.
Yeah,
I'm sick of paying for it in blood and treasure.
Yeah, I have nothing against the Jewish community. I have nothing against the Muslim community. I'm just sick and tired of spending our own blood and treasure.
Do your own killing. If you want to start a war, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm not funding it, and I'm not sending my brothers to die for it.
Correct.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that.
Yes.
I don't have any interest in that stuff.
We did get a $50 super chat on YouTube. My YouTube crashed and it's not showing up on my end. So we'll try to find it and read it at the end of the show.
That item, I've got one $10 one. Bear with me. Searching. Bear with me. Wait for it. There's another 10. Jimmy Bones will probably be able to see it. There it is. I see it.
Okay. Just read it real quick so it doesn't drop off the radar, because I don't want to piss anyone off.
The pimped out platypus drops 50 on us. Just started book 3 of the Jericho Files. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude for a great story. I have enjoyed the hell out of it. De Oppresso Liber from a 19th group, bro. Hey,
all
man.
Right. Give it a good review.
I edited that, and I can tell you right now, his storytelling has gotten a lot better over the years. He's starting to write some really good shit. Don't tell him, it'll go to his head.
All right.
But,
I'm sorry about.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
I had to read
Yeah,
that.
because I did-
I don't want that to drop off the radar. Thank you so much.
No. Got it. Let's get back to false flags. The Stasi false flags. During the Cold War, the East German Stasis deployed Romeo spies, attractive men, and they used honey traps too. Sent to entice West German secretaries to reveal top secret intelligence. The honey trap mission was also a false flag operation. Several of the female West German civil servants believed they were handing classified documents to members of West German peace advocacy groups. According to Jack Barsky, a spy ex-consultant and ex-KGB sleeper agent, many a right-wing radical had given information to the Soviets under a false flag, thinking they were working with a Western ally such as Israel, when in fact their contact was a KGB operative. That has gone on forever. Mata Hari is probably the most famous one. I believe that was World War II or
The
World
honey
War
trap.
I.
I mean, there's instances of that happening in our Revolutionary War.
Goes all the way back thousands of years, man.
The Romans, they had that problem.
Yep. Ninja Nookie spies.
Ninja Nookie spies. I like it.
It is what it is, man. I told him before we did the show, I was talking about when I was in Korea working for the diplomatic end of civil affairs. Basically just go to events as an NCO. I carried around my colonel's hat and drink. So I wasn't like actively involved in diplomatic shit, but I was present.
Yeah.
I went through courses at Yonsei University, and I was mentioning there were all these hot Russian and Bulgarian girls. And we all knew, just stay the fuck away from that, because it's obviously a honey trap.
Yep.
Because they were way too willing to let you be interested. We're like, yeah, that's probably not.
You're
probably not legitimate.
You're not that good.
Yeah.
Unless you throw touchdowns for a living, or you score hoops and make $1 bazillion.
Yeah.
You're not that interesting as a normal Joe.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yep. No. Yeah, I did diplomatic shit for 15 months, and it consisted of wearing dress blues and carrying my colonel's hat and drink around at parties and attending conferences where I translated.
Yeah, so you were the invisible coat rack.
I was the invisible coat rack. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But I got to see it all, and it was all interesting as fuck. It was all really interesting.
Excellent.
That was probably my most interestingest assignment. Cyber ops. Oh gosh, why would a false flag happen like that? False flag operations.
Hang on, you're not sharing the screen.
Cyber attacks. I am not sharing the screen.
Yeah, you got to share the screen.
Oh yeah. I forgot to push this button.
Yes,
my bad. False flag operations come in many disguises, including cyber attacks. When cyber warriors attacked Israeli government computers in 2019-2020, Iran was the first suspect. After all, the hackers wrote in Farsi and used techniques similar to the Iranians. Looks can be deceiving, however. As analysts gathered more evidence, they determined it wasn't Iran. Instead, it was more likely it was Chinese operatives.
Shocker.
Which is, Chinese and North Koreans. Even in my day, 20-year dude. I'll be out 20 years this year.
Wow.
This August, I will be out 20 years. Even then, the North Koreans and the Chinese were the big hackers. That was their thing.
And they've probably got way better at it.
I would imagine so. I would imagine they've gotten way better, especially since the Chinese make all of our computer stuff now. They have factories full of, They have factories full of all of the technology that we have sitting on our desktops. They know exactly how every single piece of it works because they built it.
Yep. That's stupid.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly stupid. Why? That's the wrong button. That's the right button.
You're hitting the wrong button.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's that stack right there. But there are false flags
Yeah, and
on
this particular site, actually, they have like classes for learning how to be a spy.
it's kind of cute, really.
It's not Hollywood,
funny.
man. It's
It's not.
incredibly boring.
Yeah.
There's no glamour to being a spy.
No.
No.
It is what I told you earlier before the show. In the 6 years that I really actually did shit, I have about 3 hours that I would consider really exciting.
Yep.
And the rest of it is tedium.
So let's go through the list here of what we know about the New Year's Day New Orleans attack.
Investigators now believe the driver who barreled through a crowd of New Year's revelers in New Orleans acted alone and found he posted several videos on social media pledging his support for the Islamic State group, the FBI said on Thursday.
Acted alone.
Gosh, FBI.
Acted alone, but there's simultaneously 2 different attacks who rented vehicles from the same place. Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The FBI called Wednesday's attack, which left 14 dead in act of terrorism. The driver, a citizen from Texas, also, they keep saying a U.S. citizen from Texas. They keep saying that every article over and over and over and over.
Well,
this guy died in a shootout with the cops.
I know, but I believe he was a U.S. citizen.
The fact that they keep repeating it tells us what?
That they are trying to feed you the hook, the line, and the sinker.
Yes. They don't want you looking at any of the actual action or reasons around this. Investigators found guns and what appeared to be an improvised explosive device in the vehicle, which bore the Islamic State group, along with other explosives found in the French Quarter. Now, where is the really good one? This is my favorite. I am going to share this tab instead. This happened within hours of the attack. I'm going to back you up here, little girly.
All right, so
I'm
going to put the sound on.
I'm going to put the sound on. Here's what happened. This reporter somehow got to the location, and you can see that door has been breached. That door has clearly been breached. You can see the door jamb over on the side, right where the lettering says, take a look inside, right under take.
Yeah, you know what you don't
There's
see
the
there?
door jamb. That's a breach. What?
You don't see crime tape.
No, there's no crime tape. Look behind her.
Yeah, there's the reporter right there with the camera.
With the big fucking camera on a crime scene from something that just happened.
Yeah.
For all real intents and purposes. Watch this. This is hysterical that this was allowed to happen at all. This is supposedly the attackers, the New Orleans attackers' house.
Inside the New Orleans terrorist home, you can see that it's been clearly destroyed, the door at least.
Watch the condition of the house. This is
raid yesterday,
not an FBI raid.
Watch. We see some signs of what he was up
how
to.
tidy.
We had this work area here. Lots of different chemicals splayed around.
None of that would be there.
And different.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Electronics. This is again a work.
This is a show. This is
leftovers.
This is staged.
It's very unkempt in here. If we go over here, actually, you can see the Department of Justice documents here, the search warrant.
Why is there a can opener right there?
Property that they recorded here, which seems to be a lot of chemicals.
All of that would have been taken.
Just left in disarray.
They would not have left that behind.
Here, and his what appears to be his collection of religious materials, his Qurans.
Look how neat and tidy that shelf is. The FBI doesn't
there, as well as even the Bible here, but mostly books on Islam and his prayer rug just to the left of me here.
Okay, that's the whole video.
Now, didn't they go after her for this?
I don't know past that, but she should have never gotten that far. One, Two, that room, that apartment was staged. Okay, I've seen from BDA and stuff like that when we would do the intelligence, and then we would sick you fuckers on the compound to do the raids.
Yep.
You guys did. You did not leave it tidy.
Well, number one, There's
you did not leave it.
all right. First of all, if the actual law enforcement did, kick that door down, they would have secured the scene. There'd be evidence techs in there. They would be there for like up to a week processing the scene. They would not leave the door ajar. They would not leave chemicals behind. I bet you 10 to 1 that those documents left behind are absolute bullshit.
Yep.
That looks like it was completely staged.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
absolutely staged.
this smells like a glowy op. I'm just saying.
Yep. Did you ever do raids like that? Did you ever do any of the intelligence raids?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We would just run in there with we do our deal. We show up with a garbage bag and just
boxes and garbage bags.
Just scoop shit off the shelf.
Everything.
Every piece of electronic, wallets,
rip
watches,
cabinets off the wall to make sure there's nothing behind them. Like
we run out like Santa Claus and then we just hand it to you guys to unfuck the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's war situation.
And the FBI uses similar techniques. The FBI will go in there with cardboard boxes. It's a little tidier.
But the thing is,
cabinets and shit like that are not staying on the wall.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Especially with that many people getting killed. They would not. They would not.
This guy's supposedly an ISIS terrorist. They're not going in there. They're not going in there lightheaded.
No.
This guy was supposedly an ISIS. First of all, the breach was they ripped that door off. They ripped it outward. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Which means they were probably concerned about IEDs or something like that. They just go right through the door.
Yeah. Well,
that's my opinion. That's based on BDA and shit like that I've seen.
They probably pried it open the hooligan tool. I don't think that was a law enforcement agency, or if it was, there was or somebody was setting a stage for a glowy op.
It's clearly staged.
And maybe she got there before the actual cops showed up.
Look at the door jam under her elbow. Look at the door jam under her elbow there. That's ripped inward.
Okay.
The whole jam is ripped off. Look at that. Doors are not 6 inches thick. That's the whole door jam ripped out.
Yeah, you can do that with a hooligan tool.
Yeah.
Firefighters do that all the time.
Yeah. I don't have any idea how to do any of that. I've just seen the results afterward.
No, I did that in Sephardic.
Okay. In what?
Special Operation or Special Forces Advanced Urban Warfare course.
I never got to do that.
Yeah. And we did that. We did the breaching through ceilings with explosives, fast roping. I mean, it was insane.
Hated you guys. A week out of basic, they stuck us in the mount site at Fort Ord.
Yeah.
And gave us weapons with like blank adapters and blanks and shit like that and said, defend these buildings. And the sun goes down and we hear helicopters. And the next thing we know, we're just being shot, overrun. We just got put in there as the assholes to stay in the buildings. It was 2-5 light and some element of Ranger heading down to South America. And they needed some idiots to chew on before they went down there.
Yep. Right.
And we were it. Yeah. They just stuck us in the mount buildings and ran us over like 5 times that night.
Yeah.
Reset. Reset. Oh, I don't want to go again.
All right. Let's roll through this.
I am rolling through this. Okay. Let's get to this Las Vegas guy now.
Okay.
That's starting off right there. Las Vegas say Cybertruck that exploded
Hang on.
had fuel
Move your
containers.
suck hole closer to the microphone.
What happened?
Your suck hole's too far away from your microphone.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. He has a new microphone, so
I just got this microphone today. So
all right, now I'm just gonna say this about the Las Vegas guy. First of all, I find it very convenient that his body was burned beyond recognition, but they found his passport, his military ID, and I believe
there was paper in there.
And there was, get the hell out of here. If you're going to have something so hot, it burns a human body beyond recognition, plastic and paper in that vehicle would be gone.
Look,
Sorry.
there's a guy on Colonel Murray's crew who is a high-level EMT, is my understanding, my basic understanding of what he does with firefighters. And he said that those items don't survive something like that, especially in a contained environment.
Where else did we see something like that where a couple buildings caught on fire so hot it melted steel, but yet they found passports?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, man. This is such a glowy up. All right, let me do the
It's a ridiculous glowy up.
All right, now
you gonna do that thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. All right, we've been demonetized beyond rhyme and reason here on YouTube, and every little bit you send in helps us keep the show rolling. I like doing this. I like bringing you, military perspectives on some of the craziness that's going on in the world today. And of course, I do the comedy to keep you guys alive. I'm honored that I've been able to help as many people as I have over the past decade and a half. We're up to 550 lives saved. That is over a battalion of men.
555.
Yes. In fact, we have one of the people who's running for governor in Alaska who's one of the people saved. Do you have any idea how huge that would be if he actually wins? I mean, it's amazing.
I'm just thinking to myself, there's 555 guys that we are aware of, plus all of you other monkeys that are out there. What if the Redonkulas Regiment formed a political party and just started running for office everywhere? All I can see is blue-haired liberals shitting themselves and running, because
it would be glorious.
We would be a force to be reckoned with, because none of us would take any shit. First of all, absolutely none of us would take any shit if we got into office. And if we all had seats in all 50 states,
we could change some shit.
We could rectify some things.
Yes.
Keyword not out of the. We could rectify some things.
Yeah.
No homo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a thought.
Yeah.
That'd be quite the event. So, meanwhile, back in Las Vegas land, nothing has been confirmed except the Green Beret allegedly rented the truck from the Turo app and then drove to Las Vegas. Okay, so you rent a cyber truck, and I've seen the map of this. It would require him to make at least 8 stops to drive from Colorado to Vegas to recharge this damn truck.
Yes. Was it
That's
8
a
stops?
lot of time to
4.
think about. 8.
Was it 8?
It's a lot of time. Yeah, a lot of time. Please keep saying 8. Stop it. Knock it off.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. That's okay. Don't know whose body was in the truck. He was 37 years old, had 19 years in, a newborn, and my bad. Had a newborn and a wife. This doesn't make any sense, first of all.
But he was going, she had filed for divorce, and I believe he'd been divorced once before.
Okay.
And again, I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying, if you spend that much time in the service to become a master sergeant, and all of a sudden half your pension is going to some, walking set of tits you were married to for 10 years in a day, and you might feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
But if he was motivated to that level with his experience, Setting off a bunch of fireworks with some kerosene and fuel is not the way to go, in my opinion. I talk about these techniques in my 3 novels in the Jericho Files, where I specifically go through the steps. And I've been out of the game for like 2 decades. All right. If I was on active duty, a master sergeant, a team daddy, he would have all of that information at his fingertips, plus it's burned into his head. And all of those guys know how to use the Greenberg Express, meaning if you're motivated, you can get your hands on anything you want. Anything you want. Just saying. All right, continue on.
And this guy, I mean, that I recall, you guys cross-trained each other all the time.
Correct.
You would have like micro classes. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this today. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that today.
Yeah.
And the medic would do something, and the commo guy would do something, and the engineer would do something, and so on and so forth.
I was basically heavily cross-trained as a 18 Charlie, and then my primary job was 18 Bravo.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw that shit all the time. You guys were always up to something. But this guy, none of this is making sense.
No.
The Tesla truck, what he chose for the explosive charge is like something that I would do. And guess what I know about explosives? I know exactly this much about explosive. I can light fireworks off.
Now, you could go to
I
Home
can
Depot.
probably figure out how to blow up a gas can.
Yeah, you can go to Home Depot. You can go to Kroger's. You can go to Walmart. You can go to Ace Hardware, the mom and pop hardware stores. All of the stuff you need to make something incredibly lethal could be, you can find it on the shelves. Yeah. And if you can't find it on the shelves, you can find something similar, and there's just a few simple chemical reactions and filtering you can do to purify the stuff. You could do it in a garage if you really wanted to. The Oklahoma City bombers literally built all that stuff with information they got from Poor Man's James Bond, Anarchist Cookbook, and some active duty experience.
The Anarchist Cookbook is full of booby traps. By the way,
if you get the original version, it's not.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that I know anything about that or anything. I'm just saying.
I mean, it was your job for, a substantial chunk of your life.
But
the bomb that went off in that truck, and it was so ineffectual that a lot of people just thought it was some sort of battery malfunction at first. I thought it was a battery malfunction at first.
When I saw it, I'm like, and then I saw like the fireworks sprinkles, and I'm like, oh, no. Somebody setting up fireworks. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, but it turns out that the truck is made out of stainless steel.
Yep.
And basically what this guy inadvertently did was build a shape charge.
Yes. And here's another thing. I looked at some of the security footage, and all of the security footage I reviewed, you don't see the report of a 50 caliber Desert Eagle going off inside the car.
You're going to hear that.
First of all, you're going to hear it. It's going to be a huge flash, and it might just blow out the windows.
Yeah. Yep.
None of that's on the security camera.
That's enough of a concussive report that it might even cause a little bit of vibration in the cameras.
Yeah.
Because it's a contained area. You had the contained vehicle inside a contained area. That was like a drive-through, dropping the people off spot.
It was a valet area.
Yeah, valet area. Thank you. I don't know why that was so complex for me, but
it happens. You're drinking. I got you. It happens to me all the time.
I've had exactly one beer in the last hour and a half. So right. I have a higher constitution than that, dude. I've got like a 17 constitution.
Yeah, and I watched the Ryan show when they talked to one of his somebody that knew him, and they're like, this is not him at all. And if they actually killed this guy to turn him into a patsy for this bullshit, I mean, that is just egregious. And I read his dossier about the UFO drone thing.
The manifesto.
The manifesto, yeah.
Okay, look, somebody threw that up on Colonel Murray's roundtable chat that I've got access to. You actually have access to that as well.
Yes.
And I read that, and then I compared it with some of the emails and everything. The same person did not write those emails and that manifesto. It's not the same person.
Well, yeah. I mean, typically...
It isn't. I have a shitload of experience in looking at stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a tempo to how people write.
Yes.
Yeah, so you could tell when I write shit because you need to depop it. And
yeah, like I know you're writing. I know you're writing instantly when I see it. Your rating has like a nuclear signature. Really?
Yeah.
So, tale of two companies here. Apple refused to aid law enforcement after the Riverside terror attacks in 2015, but after the Cybertruck exploded in Vegas, Musk and Tesla immediately began aiding law enforcement with the truck's data, video, and travel history. Interestingly, we haven't seen much video from that.
Yeah.
From the truck itself.
I mean, we did have a huge attack take place in Las Vegas that dropped off the radar within 10 days of it happening. We've never heard any of the outcome of the lawsuits. We can't get any of the inside information.
You mean the big Vegas, right?
Say that again?
The big Vegas shooting?
Yes. Yeah, the one that had the two different machine guns there, and it wasn't a bump stock.
So here is my theory on why that got shut up.
Okay.
Vegas was built by the mob, by one of the head guys, one of Meyer Lansky's head guys from an outfit called Murder Inc. out of New York.
Yes.
Vegas was built as a mob city to make money and launder money without anybody paying any attention. So you have an event like that in a place like Vegas. That night, several security guys were probably driven out to the desert with a shovel. Okay? And local officials, particularly in law enforcement, were probably handed large chunks of money to fuck off. And then the feds were just told to fuck off. Feds are easier to tell to fuck off than you would think. It's not that hard to tell feds to fuck off.
Yeah, I know.
I think the mob defended their money printing industry. I think that's why Vegas was covered up. Did shit happen there? I have no doubt in my mind that there was shady shit all over that.
There was
but I think the
belt-fed machine guns. There was a medium machine gun, and there was a light, a saw, basically. A 5.56 and a 308 belt-fed machine gun.
But I think it was covered up because the mob didn't want anybody touching their money printing machine.
I don't know. All I could say is that was a big event, and if that was allowed to take place, then people need to run up the flagpole. Period. We should not be covering for this crap. Especially big casualty producing events. No, I'm sorry.
It's been going on forever.
I know, but
it's absolutely been going on forever. I agree with you 110%. The only solution is for the Redonkulas Regiment to become the Redonkulas regime.
Fair enough.
Let's just take the country over one elected seat at a time.
Okay.
And it'd be legitimate. Not a shot would be fired. Nobody would be able to shove us around. That'd be a formidable thing. Anyway, with this Vegas thing, the other thing is with the gunshot and all of that. You look at the picture of the damn inside of the vehicle. I've got it here. Let me share the correct screen sharing window. Going to, here we go. The cause of death was an intra-oral gunshot wound by suicide. Okay, the exit wound would have been on the left side of the head, ostensibly. There's the guy seated up, and there's no blood or anything on the window. Now, correct me if I am wrong, Master Sergeant Pop of the 18 Bravo Persuasion, but typically when one applies a 50 cal weapon to one's head, there is what one would refer to as spatter.
Yes. I mean, that round will whip right through your cranium like it wasn't even there.
And would leave some visible result.
It would blow out the window.
Yeah.
I did not
along with the flecks of brain and bone and what have you.
Yeah, it would cover the inside of that car with his brains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it basically what's the term? I think it's canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy, clearly you can see from the photo, the body inside the burning vehicle there, his head is intact, the window is intact, there's no goop.
If he did it through his mouth, there'd be a hole in the ceiling.
You could see the thing behind him, behind his head.
I am not buying the fact that he shot himself just before he detonated the bomb. I'm just not. You cannot see the pistol signature in the video footage right before it goes off.
Yeah, none of that makes any sense at all.
But the Teslas, they can drive themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. That's and this guy
just not adding up, man. It's just
none
not
of this.
adding up.
This guy was a team sergeant too. That's from my understanding. You don't get put into team sergeant by being a schlub.
Oh no.
And if he was doing SF intelligence and operations, we worked alongside that kind of thing. This guy would have to be pretty damn sharp and have gone through some of the courses at Huachuca.
And not to
get
mention
to that.
You go through a psycho eval every time you come back from over the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We had our own psychologist on staff. We had a psychologist on staff. But none of this is adding up. None of this is making any real sense at all.
It is adding up for a glowy op.
Yes, this absolutely reeks of glowy op. This is I'm stumbling over words to say about this because it's so fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
And it got more ridiculous right before we came on the show when, again, Colonel Murray, you're getting all kinds of shout outs tonight, man, because a lot of this stuff I got from the chat that you guys had going. You guys were really vocal about this. Matthew Livelsberger, a decorated soldier, used generative AI tools like ChatGTP to plan the explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck. Oh, shit. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Authorities found that he searched for information on explosives, ammunition speed, and legal fireworks prior to the incident. Sheriff Kevin McMahill remarked that this is the first known case in the U.S. involving AI in such a context, describing it as such a concerned moment. Bullshit. Bullshit. Full-blown bullshit flag.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No 18 is going to need to go and fucking look this shit up like a kid looking for titties.
You are correct.
It makes no sense at all. This whole article makes no sense at all. These police statements make zero sense.
Yep. Now, I have no idea what they were thinking. I'm trying to figure out what the end goal is for the shit that they just did. And I am at a loss.
Yeah,
really am.
I'm baffled myself. This is like, nothing here makes sense. Now, on top of all of that, this all just disappears.
Yeah, it's only been a week.
This is 2 attacks on New Year's Day in 2 of the most significant cities in America for New Year's Day, New Orleans and Vegas, both known to be party epicenters for New Year's.
Yep.
Alongside of New York, Times Square.
Correct.
And it's just gone. It's like it never happened.
It's because our media outlets are owned by 6 corporations, and they are doing their best to try to guide us down the memory hole. And it's up to us and you people out there to not let this story fucking die.
Yeah. We have become the media. And even Elon Musk has acknowledged that this is what's called above the fold. It's an old newspaper term, which means the first thing you see when you look at the front of the newspaper. It's always supposed to be the most important stories of the time. We've got LA declares emergency as wildfires. I've been there for a wildfire. It's a lot of fun. Trump announces we're going to be changing the name of Gulf of Mexico, which is nothing short of awesome.
Yes.
And Denmark's prime minister sends blunt message to Trump, and Obama bros trash Biden. That's the above the fold. A week ago, we had 2 major attacks in American cities. Let's look at CNN real quick. Residents flee wildfires. Trump lobs global threats. After they moved to Spain, her husband was diagnosed with cancer. Why they decided to stay. What the actual ass?
Yeah.
A week, just 6 days later, no mention of any of this stuff at all, which just further adds to Pop's assessment of this is a fucking glowy up. This is a glowy up. All of it. The whole thing.
Yes, it is. That's just our opinion. But no, my gut's telling me that this is not adding up. It's not adding up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my years of experience in that bullshit is telling me that this is a glowy up. It's not, in my opinion, it's not an opinion at this point. This is just. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm just sitting here trying not to say all sorts of things that'll get us trashed on YouTube right now.
I know.
Because it's like,
this is not the first time that they've done this either.
No, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. But this one here is of particular significance because Trump just won. It's New Year's Day in America, and they staged 2 attacks in 2 key cities for New Year revelry.
And both of those guys rent their vehicles from the same company.
Both rent from the same company. Both are associated with the military, but one is an absolute pogue. Let's face it, the guy's a pogue. He's a data analyst for human resources. You're a pogue. Mm-hmm. And the other guy is a highly skilled Green Beret. Again, you don't become a Green Beret ODA team leader by having butt sex in the Philippines.
Yeah.
You must have some skill and talent. And it even helps if you have a button pushing monkey.
Yeah, there we go. He made
What's
it
up, everybody.
All right.
How you doing? I'm just sitting here getting mad, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is getting out of control here.
How many times have you said the B word today?
I have not said Bolshevik tonight.
Ah, you bastard.
I did.
There, I said it. Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
Nice.
I fucking hate you.
Don't blame me, man. It wasn't my idea.
But let's just put this into perspective.
Fantastic.
To be an E8 team sergeant, he's probably got to have a minimum of 10 to 12 years on the teams.
Mm.
So
operational in ODAs.
He's been the weapons sergeant or whatever his initial MOS was. Then, we've been at war for quite some time, so we know he did some deployments. They're always doing the high-speed, low-drag training. Those guys rub elbows with CAG, which is Delta by another name. Every time you rotate off sector, you're talking to a psychologist. All right. And then with that amount of training and skill set, he dies in a car with fuel and fireworks. Get the fuck out of here. And
yeah, absolutely.
None
of it makes any sense at all.
And it was so hot, it burned his body beyond recognition. But yet, 2 or 3 forms of ID was found.
And pieces of paper were found.
Yeah, get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Look, if you are going to go crispy critter, we're talking temperatures in excess of 1,000. Yeah. Paper will just combust. It will just cease to be.
Yes.
It just turns to ash.
Correct. And that happens at 451 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level.
Fahrenheit 451. The Ray Bradbury novel is about burning books.
Yep.
If you've got 1,000 degrees inside of a contained space, anything that's paper doesn't even have to be in contact with the fire is going to combust and just be gone.
Return to carbon.
Yep.
Plastic, that shit's gone.
Melted to you at the very least.
Correct.
If it was like in a pocket or something like that, his clothing would turn to ash almost instantly. But anything plastic would be fused to his body.
And if they didn't put it out right away, which I don't think they did, that would be burned up too.
Yep.
I mean, literally, the inside of that vehicle was a crematorium.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot convince me that shit survived that. I'm sorry.
No.
I've been in the killing business for a long time. I know how shit rolls, man. And
yeah,
that's not it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It is. And again, I've said it before. Our country has served up servicemen to Agent Orange. That was in a war zone, though. We tested nuclear warheads around our troops in the 50s and early 60s.
Yeah.
Lots of guys dropped dead from that. Nobody gave a shit.
They jabbed our generation with the anthrax.
Yeah, I got the anthrax. That's why I didn't take the actual COVID jab, because I've been down this road before.
Mm-hmm.
We've had MK Ultra. If you look, like the Tuskegee Airmen that were injected with syphilis and not told.
Oh yeah, that was
decades.
Yeah. Yep.
We've had them test various chemicals, biological agents, right off the shores of our very own country, and let the wind take it into the general population.
They sprayed LSD over a town just to see what would happen back in the 50s.
Now, listen, this is getting out of fucking control here. This should not be allowed to happen, in my opinion. People need to be held accountable.
There's only one way this could happen, the way that it has happened. And I have held this opinion for some time now, that what we call the federal government is, in fact, not our government at all, but another entity entirely. No normal government of a population drawn from the population is going to so callously just abuse its citizens like this. We are... I have been referring to the federal government lately as OGUS, the Occupational Government of the U.S. I think we're an occupied country and have been for some time and don't realize it. Now, who the occupiers are specifically, I think it's more than one group, and a lot of it emanates from places like Davos.
Yes.
And Beijing.
The WEF.
I don't think Washington, D.C. is a United States entity any longer. I think we are living under OGUS. I think we're living under an occupied government. There's no reason that anybody, no sane government, even the Japanese, who are some hardcore motherfuckers, don't treat their citizens like this.
Yep. You are correct.
I don't like to be correct in moments like this. I have no interest in being correct in moments like this.
I mean, this shit is fucked up, man. And first of all, they allowed the rumor is a brigade of enemy fighters are now on the American soil. That's 15,000 guys. You divide that by 50, that's 300 people per state.
Yo, hey, a brigade is 3 to 5 battalions. A battalion is 440 dudes. A division, a reinforced division, is 15,000.
Okay, then we have a reinforced.
Sorry, I'm the OB. I'm the OB guy.
But that's 300 people.
Yeah,
vaguely per state.
Yeah,
and we have so many useless idiots or useful idiots to be the cannon fodder, and they've already done this rehearsal for BLM and Antifa. The infrastructure is in place.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and I mean, this is some creepy ass shit, and it literally, the Democrats have literally staged this entire thing, and the Republicans looked the other way while it was happening.
Well, they're all getting their pockets lined.
Yes.
They don't care. They're all getting their pockets lined.
That's right.
One of the big concerns that Matt Bracken, the SEAL, likes to voice is the very real possibility that there are shipping containers of weapons inside the United States. And the fact of the matter is that while nobody has actually found a container full of weapons, less than 3% of the shipping containers that come into the United States of America didn't get inspected. So while nobody has actually opened a container and found a bunch of AKs and RPGs, it's a very, very real possibility.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Which is more than a little scary. On the other hand, I'd love to find one of those containers.
Well, more than likely, it would A, be guarded, B, probably be rigged. If you didn't know how to open it, you'd have a very short career in, lock picking.
Right.
And if you get caught with any of that stuff, they're going to run you up the flagpole.
Well, now I have to find one.
I'm just saying, man.
That's the
yeah. Like, I don't know what else to say other than we're fucked.
I know.
We are so fucked. And if you think this is going to just miraculously go away, you're out of your fucking mind. I would love for it to peacefully go away and be able to fix this.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
There's too many people already in here that don't want it to go down that way. And we have a whole government that doesn't want, patriots and people who love this country to run the show.
That's why I believe we're living under an OGUS. That's why I believe we're living under an occupational government. Because it doesn't make sense that we refuse to defend our own borders with our own troops. It doesn't make sense that we refuse to hunt down pedophiles or terrorists. It doesn't make sense that we allow militarized gangs to roam the United States freely. None of this makes sense if you have a government that cares about your country.
Correct.
Look at Poland. Look at Poland, for example. They don't allow any of that shit to go on because their government is pro-Poland.
Yep.
But here in the U.S., it's insane. And when I talk about militarized gangs, we've mentioned this before. The Mexican Special Forces, 2 battalions of Mexican Special Forces switched sides back in, I think it was the 19th. back in the 1990s. They're like, I'm making more money doing drug shit. And now you've got actual special forces battalions as cartel soldiers.
And those guys were trained in the School of Americas.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fort Benning and Fort Bragg.
Yeah. I fought those guys in Panama when we jumped into 89, the Macho Diamante.
Were they competent?
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Luckily, Spectre showed up about 30 minutes into it and started spanking people.
Spectre has a way of adjusting people's attitudes about things.
Yeah.
Spectre,
that was
Spectre will adjust your attitude.
Yeah.
The thing that I heard, and I never had any kind of contact with that, my combat days are exactly 0. I did some long range patrols and shit like that, but there were 4 of us, and if we got caught, we were screwed. So you don't seek combat.
You're dead.
But the thing that I heard about those guys that were trained at the School of Americas is it very rarely made it past 2 iterations once they got home. We could train them up and they'd be competent, and they would train, that cadre would train one additional group, but then the discipline would go to shit.
Yes.
That's what I heard. So it doesn't last. It doesn't stick.
No. But, it is what it is.
And I know a lot of you guys that I talked to that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan, talking about trying to train the Iraqis or the Afghanis is like trying to train pigs on meth to disco dance.
Yeah. That was a waste of time and effort.
Basically. Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Just is what it is.
So
it's a shit show in slow motion.
A favorite video of mine is the video of them trying to train the Iraqis how to do jumping jacks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that's classic. That's a classic. God damn it.
Yeah,
what has this all got to do with those 2 attacks?
We're going to see more of it.
We're going to see more of it, for 1. And 2, let me get rid of that one there. That's not a useful screen. Here we go. Here's the Cybertruck itself. Look at the condition of that.
Yep.
No piece of paper survived that. Fuck you. Okay? Straight up fuck you. No piece of paper survived that. And they've clearly cut away the doors. You can see the doors down here. They've cut material away.
Mm-hmm.
But this government that we have is clearly, at the very least, looking the other way when they know shit like this is going to happen. At the very least, they're looking away.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only conclusion you can come to.
Yeah.
And listen, what we're talking about here is not outside the scope of impossibility. They've done this before.
Yeah.
I mean, this is espionage 101, except instead of it happening in a third world nation, we're doing it within our very own.
They're doing it yeah. Yep. Which, again, is what leads me to believe we're operating under an OGUS.
Yeah, listen, the NSA and the CIA have cracked all of the messaging apps. You cannot use anything that they can't decrypt.
They built some of them.
Yeah. They can literally, if you carry a cell phone, they could track where you were within 50 meters going back probably a decade and a half.
More than likely.
You're walking around with a huge homing beacon on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't tell me that they haven't put together the cell phone trees and found out where these people are operating out of. They know where they all are. They're just not doing.
I know how to do that.
Yeah.
You've watched me do that.
Yes. And he's one guy. They have whole farms of dudes with 30-pound brains
Yep.
That's all they do is get paid between $120,000 and $150,000 a year to basically farm out their intellect to figure this shit out.
Look, the last unit that I was in, we did the intelligence for guys like you and other tier 1 proximal activities. I was selected to that unit, and it's not like special forces selection or anything like that. Your face goes up on a fucking board in the unit, and everybody goes, yeah, I know that guy. And then everybody either vouches for you or says, no, we don't want him. Everybody has to want you to get in. When I got there, I was bottom of the middle of the pack brain power wise. We had one guy named Neil who was breaking encrypted North Korean 5-figure traffic where they encrypt every word into 5 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they encrypt that. This guy was breaking that code with legal pads, a pencil, a slide rule, a pack of Marlboro Reds, his coffee, and a bologna sandwich.
You've told me about this guy.
I fucking shit you not.
Yeah.
And that guy was like, the brain power that takes. And these guys they've got rooms full of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they look for them. And in a lot of cases, like even in the stuff that we were doing, if I look back on some of the stuff that we were doing, I'd have to violate NDAs, and that's not going to happen here. Sorry. But I can tell you that I can look back on it now and go, we probably shouldn't have been doing that. We probably should not have been doing those things. Because you're isolated in your little cells, because you're working in your teams or your groups or you're attached to whatever activity, you don't think about whether or not you should be doing. You're not thinking about the morality of it. You're not thinking, is this actually good for the citizens of the United States? Am I really, doing something that needs to be done here? Or am I helping this corporation over here? Am I helping KBR get another fucking contract?
Yep. There you go. There you go.
And that's how that shit works. That's why so many of us stayed in and did all of that stuff. We're not looking at it from that angle.
No.
We're looking at it as we're high speed. We're supporting an activity.
Well,
I know these guys. I like them.
You're at the bottom looking up.
Yep.
You're not one of those guys at the top pulling all the strings looking down.
Yep.
100%.
Absolutely. And I worked for, one of my bosses was Mike Hayden. He was the director of the NSA at the time. I met the guy. He was a nice guy. And it is my opinion that somebody got to him after he was made director of the NSA. Because I didn't see any signs that guy was...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't at least one of the former Bush presidents work for the CIA or NSA?
One of the former Bush presidents what?
Work for the CIA or the NSA?
I believe that was Bush Senior.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we had an individual who worked for the CIA who's capable of
Bush
thinking
Senior.
that way and later became the president of the United States. What could go wrong?
Gosh, I don't know what could possibly go wrong. And I don't think that Bush being president was an accident or an election.
No. They've been pulling the strings, picking the people they wanted to sit in that seat because it's no longer viable. And there's other people pulling the strings. And we're seeing it right now in real time in Technicolor as they implode our very country from within. And we're all watching.
I think we're living under an occupational government at the federal level.
All right, Jimmy, let's roll through some super chats. We've been whipping this dead horse for almost 2 hours now.
All right, sounds good. Start over here on the YouTube side. We got 679 watchers and 383 likes.
Come on now.
It's just under half, man.
Subscribe, God damn it.
Spread the show, man.
Don't make Jimmy push the button. Please don't make Jimmy push the button.
I don't want to push the button either, but you guys may have to tempt me. Let's see. The first one here comes from the Pimped Out Platypus. I like that name. He's dropping $50 on us, saying, just started book 3 of the Jericho Files. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude for a great story. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. De Appresso Liber from a 19th SFG bro.
Yep. Thank you very much. Give it a good
Read
review.
that one earlier, but yep.
Yeah, we covered that one.
He gets one of these.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
All right, next one. Let's roll through these.
Got a Dark Pegasus 87 with $10 says, solution, stock/produce your own food and defend it at all costs. The takers will starve when they run out of people to take from.
Yeah.
That veteran with $10 says, back in 92, when the first Gulf War was boiling and the DOD called me at my home and asked me to train medics at 29 Palms. I asked how they knew where I lived in Indo. The hairs were standing up on my neck.
Yeah.
Yep.
They know where you are, dude.
Yep. Let's see here. Yankee Watchdog with $5 says, Pop, it's Bukake Theater. A big circle jerk.
True story.
Yes.
All right.
We got Rabble Rouser with $5 says, why didn't Elon Musk make the entire truck out of that paper? It is strong. The same material 9/11 hijackers' passports were made of.
Correct.
Yep. I actually had that same thought when I saw we got his military ID.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And Frank Rizzo here, 1999. No comment there, but thank you there, Frank. Jump over here to the Rumble side. Again, we all know the issues with the Rumble side. I'm going to try to fix things up so that I can be here on Tuesdays for you guys. First one on my end is from Berserker Brad, 1983 for $20. Says, if we were to annex Greenland, the USA would become the second largest nation at 4.3 million square miles. I want to see this happen. What do you guys think?
So do I. I want to.
I'll take Greenland.
I've been to Greenland and I've been to Iceland, but I never spent a lot of time there.
Never been to either of them, but wouldn't mind going.
I know. My last time I was in Iceland, it was a 36-hour layover, and I banged like this. I think she was an 8 or a 9, platinum blonde. You know, it was awesome. And then I literally waved goodbye as I got on the plane and never saw her again.
Then you did come and snatch. How you doing? All right.
Wow, that's diplomacy right there.
There you go.
It's a good time.
Let's see.
Wow.
Tomahawk here with $10 says, if we successfully annex Canada, what do we do with the millions of street shitters they've imported over the past few years?
Send them back.
Send them to Greenland.
Send them back.
Yeah.
We could send them all up to Yellowknife with no winter jackets.
I'm not into genocide. Just send them back where they came from.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that, and I guess there was
plenty of them.
I guess there was some bigwig up in Canada saying, "Oh, well, we're going to annex Washington, Oregon, and California. You can take everything that's on the coast. We take everything that's on the mountainside." Deal?
Yeah.
Let's see. MGTOW Mando here with a historical joke for you, dwarf. What do American SF soldiers and Roman crucifixion squads have in common?
I have no idea.
What?
Both were cross-trained.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
good.
Nice.
That's like a turbo.
You know, I think you get one of these, Mando.
I concur.
Wow.
That was a good one.
That was like that's a weaponized dad joke right there, is what that is.
Yeah. And we got Anonymous here with $2. Says, as believable as Blackadder as a Blackadder episode where they where the sole voter very sadly accidentally brutally cut his head off while combing his hair. Blackadder took his place and cast in his 16,000 votes on the Adder party.
Well, you slip and fall on a comb. These things happen.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. What are you going to do?
Yep.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? See, we got Fan I Am here next. $3 says, we used DDT to kill the bugs. Oops, it affected us. Then we used Agent Orange to kill the plants. Oops, it affects us. When will we learn?
Yep. You're absolutely correct. when.
Yeah. Also, just a reminder, everybody, when summertime comes around, don't use DEET, peppermint oil, eucalyptus oil, and lavender oil. Keeps the mosquitoes off you.
Yeah.
Don't mind smelling like a foo-foo drink. But hey, let's see. Rule Man for Life, $5 says, this is off subject, by the way. Excellent subject tonight. Pop, did you read my email from 12/29? And when will you be going to the mailbox next so I can time delivery, because it needs to stay cool.
I'll be there tomorrow. I just got the email. It arrived today.
There you go. All right. Uh-oh. Mando has a request.
Uh-oh.
And, well, he's either... let's see. What's the first one? This is the first one.
I hate that
one. That will never not be funny. I'm sorry.
it was either that or a dancing Pelosi. So I think I think we took the bet around on that.
All right.
Got Ellie Card 1776 jumping in with $5 says, the dog man called. She wants you to sing and she misses you. Pop just sang for us. And Net Guy, he's also got a request here for your favorite Hillary, but you know what? We're gonna play the new one just because.
There's a new one.
There's a new one.
So good and tasty.
Fucking hate that one, man.
As a matter of fact, there last night, Billy Von Baum informed me there's 2 new videos. I will be adding them. I will be adding them to the playlist as soon as we get done here tonight.
New.
Let's see. Tomahawk. We got a lot of requests here right in a row here. He says, Jimmy, push the button. Well, let's see here. Where is that one at? I don't know where's that one at. This one.
Nope. Can't do it.
Gouges eyes out with plastic spoon.
I did see a deep fake on Twitter earlier today that, we all know that Nancy fell and broke her hip.
What a bummer.
Bummer. My heart goes out to her. The deep fake was her falling again and then all hell breaking loose.
And over, I saw that. It was fantastic.
It was hilarious. Let's see. Next one here. Rule Man Life for $2 says, by the way, sent a message to Kagan Dunlap about the regiment, and hopefully he will be getting in touch. He's an ex-Marine and has about 750,000 subs.
All right.
Oh,
winning.
Okay. That would be good.
There you go. Let's see. Professor Blake Pooh Ass Blaster here with $1 says, do you think Trump can turn a lot of things, including other things?
He's going to have to fire a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And
I'm curious to see what happens in another 13 days here. I'm curious to see what happens. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that was horrible.
It's not me, man. It was part of the request. I just wanted to drop it on you there.
Not me, man. Not me.
You did just drop it. We're talking, and all of a sudden I've got that in my face going, what did I do something?
It's like a hitman. It's not me, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next one here. Net Guy 1975 says, play the Battledore video that he loves oh so much. Well, we already played the Bolsheviks one, so let's how about this one?
God damn it.
So nice of you to check up on Nancy Pelosi there, Battledore.
That's fucking horrible.
That's okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Mando coming back says, even funnier when you remember Pelosi is using a walker. Yep.
Yeah.
And Tomahawk says, play Nancy with Battledore. We just did.
Just did, man.
Just did. All righty here. Jump back over here.
I'm gonna have to figure out some Jedi mind trick shit and make you people forget about that.
Are you still on Rumble or are you moving over to something else?
That was the last one over on the Rumble side there.
Okay, cool.
And
there's a YouTube one here.
Yep.
Bodhisattva for 1999. 411 East Coast DOD. Former Navy. Don't hurt me. Skiff has never been this busy in 15 years. Talked with the Omega Tanker guys, and they said there are Chinese and Russian subs off the East Coast. Newsflash, those subs have been there for 50 years.
Forever. Yeah.
Well, in the case of the Russians. The Chinese, it's a more recent event. I may or may not have spent some time on that mission.
All right.
Yep. There you go. We'll jump back here to Rumble. We had one more come in from Single for Life here. Let me bring it back up. It says, Jimmy, I've got a request. Where's that? And here it is.
That's a straight up green screen abuse, man. That's what that is.
Green screen abuse, man. Jump over here to the MGTOW side while things load up here. I did see one here. Let's see. First one here. Crazy Uncle, $20. Email at the redonkulasregiment12.
All right.
Let's see. We can burn through this one real quick. Hey, Papa Company. This email is attached to the $20 of MGTOW, the best chat on the internet. $10 for tonight and $10 on for Thursday's call-in. Speaking of which, you were both right. After I left the stream, I started hacking so bad everyone in the house thought I was puking. I don't know what flu is going around, but I would wonder if it had something to do with the fog that covered so much of the northern hemisphere at the same time.
That would not be the first time that test has been done.
Yep. Continues here. Anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion on something, and I have an idea for a show. First, my nephew was looking into the reserves to either be a 12M firefighter or a 68W medic. My take on this, he comes from a single mother household and really needs to get out on his own. Also, just like in my generation around here, every time that he succeeds at something, it is never his achievement. There's always someone, usually the teachers, coaches, or his father, that say, "We did it."
Yeah.
Really hate that shit.
I cannot recommend in good conscience that anyone go into the military at this time unless you absolutely have no other choice. It is such a shit show. I can't recommend it. I'm sorry. That's just
especially if you look up the quote unquote transgender rules in the Army. Yeah, that is a thing, and look it up. Fun things. Crazy Oak continues here. It fucked up my thinking meat for a long time. Actually, still does a bit. So if I can get everybody's opinion on going into the reserves, I would appreciate it. Now on to the show idea. Since I've seen this with at least two that I can think of right now, and many more prior, what would you think about doing a show on evil stepmother syndrome?
Oh shit, that's a good idea.
Basically, the way women treat single fathers' kids in comparison to how a man treats single mother's kids.
Yep,
that's a good idea. In my experience,
it's a good idea.
If she has to take care of the child, if it didn't slime out of her cooch, then she treats the child like it came out of the other hole.
I saw my mother do the exact same shit to my older half brother. After my father left, he got left behind, and my mom treated him like absolute dog shit.
Wonderful times. Yeah, Crazy Uncle Facials here says, "Good night, all. I raise a glass to your health from the man beside you at the line, the Crazy Uncle."
Thank you.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thank you, very good, sir. And Corvus, $150 on us.
Wow.
So we're gonna do this first.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, man.
And here's his drawing. Hopefully it'll share.
Ooh.
There you go. I
smell Bolsheviks.
Yep. He said it. Drink.
I'm out of drink.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome. I might have to save that one and
that's awesome, man.
I'll save that one. I'll send that one to you, Steve. See, next one. Migtab Ronan here. Question for Battle Dwarf. Why are these people that are on the terrorist list not in preventative detention, especially if they're high risk?
Well, there's a lot of people on lists that you just can't throw them into a fucking cage. You know, I don't really have a correct answer for this. I mean, if they are illegal aliens or they're convicted felons and they're on the list, maybe you have a case for some shit like that. But we can't just be rounding people up that you don't agree with or you think might be dangerous, because then that you just basically at the same conclusion, which is a tyrannical government.
Sounds familiar. It's not like 200 more people were rounded up from the Biden DOJ for January 6th.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. Some of those guys have been in solitary confinement for like 4 years.
Yep. And how many have decided to self-check out?
I don't know, but
yeah.
I know the number is not 0.
Yep. Let's see. Dark Mad Dog 21 here says, Battle Dwarf, do you think the mayor of Ohio and his cronies will face criminal or treason charges over the illegal immigrant situation? I'm interested to know if they do and how they do it. Another thing, shitzo autist retard Patsy did something stupid again. This is annoying fast. I understand. I get it, but now not the time, you fucking idiots. And there are ways to doing things non-violently stuff. As far as I know, they are suicidal and radicalized, a very dangerous combination.
Absolutely correct.
Too many moving parts to your question. That's a whole discussion. As far as the mayor in Ohio, etc., this goes back to what I said earlier in the show about us living under an OGUS at the moment. We are living under an occupational government.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, next one here. So Crazy Uncle again says, the reason Kennedy didn't want to go to war is simple. He's been in an active war zone. The presidents that have not served you the communists, always want to send young men to war, especially knowing that they, the POTUS and other politicians, will not be in the line of fire, yet they don't have the balls to join when they were young. The old word for this was chicken hawk.
Yeah,
sounds legit.
So one of the things that goes along with our whole OGUS situation is I've noticed that just like there are pipelines in the military, there are pipelines in politics, and you will not find more than a handful of politicians who did not go straight from academia, college, what have you, to politics and have never actually worked a day in their life, which means they live in this little bubble where their whole make-believe world is very real to them. It is a pipeline from academia to politics now. And that includes law school. That's just more academia.
Yep.
Let's see. Dark Mad Dog coming back with $2 says, Battle Dwarf, don't forget the ethnic genocide in El Salvador in 1932 to repress a possible communist revolution in the Salvadorian civil war between communist guerrillas and the army and the people in the middle. My dad tried to join the art.
You're breaking up hard, Jimmy.
God damn it. Hang on.
What's going on?
Some bitch. Jimmy broke up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You got me now?
So on the Salvadoran incident, read Marine Corps General Smedley Butler's War is a Racket. It is a short book. It was a speech. He covers all of that stuff. It's called War is a Racket by General Butler, United States Marine Corps.
There you go.
And he covers exactly specifically what you're talking about.
And he continues here. My dad tried to join the army to unalive the guerrillas. I would have done the same. Both sides blew up cars of people in case they were the enemy. Pro-fascist factions sprung up to murder the communists too. Result, 10,000 to 40,000 killed. Reagan supported the military efforts.
It's true.
There you go.
There you go. And Moisture Patrol with 25 says, hey, Pop, good to hear your plumbing fault wasn't serious.
Well, at this time, yes, it's not serious.
It was pretty bad when it started, though.
Yes, and down the road, it's probably going to be a big job to fix it, completely.
There you go. And let's see, last one here on MGTOW from Dark Mad Dog says, Battledorf, you forgot to mention that Poland kicked out all the communists at gunpoint after WW2, and they were Bolsheviks. America is the only country who never kicked out the Bolsheviks, and being Bolshevik free means your country is for you, since they don't lobby and force the interest of diversity and Weimar shit.
Okay, Lev Bronstein is the original name of Leon Trotsky. Go look into Lev Bronstein and where he got his money. The whole Bolshevik movement comes from New York.
Yep. Drink. Let's see. They own the banks and they hate the guts of anyone who kicked them out before and want revenge from 109 countries. The last country is Guatemala. Or latest country is Guatemala.
Yep. Fuck them.
Fun times. And jump over here to the Odyssey chats. Looks like we just got one over here from Insanity. Just out of curiosity, what are the chances that these two events are just a smokescreen to blind us about the drones with no origin?
Well, we're not hearing much about the drones in the news, and we're not hearing about these attacks that just happened 6 days ago. So it doesn't really matter. If the media is not going to cover it accurately with truth, they're just feeding us bullshit.
Bullshit. Let's see here. Jump back over to YouTube here. We had a couple come in. One from Fan I Am for $5 Australian. Who's going to win the population decline race? Japan or Korea? I would totally lol if they banned soy products, soy sauce, soybean oil, tofu.
They're not going to ban soy products. That's not happening over there.
That will never happen.
No.
The whole population crash thing is a red herring used as an excuse to pump immigrants into these countries. The Justinian plague wiped out 1/3 of the population of Italy. The Black Death wiped out 1/4 of the population of Europe. If we can stop these immigration floods of illegal, hostile, feral individuals, the populations will rebound all by themselves. It's called nature. When everything is calm and peaceful, the women will start having babies and our populations will rebound. Okay? The whole population crash is a bunch of bullshit.
Well, if they don't fix the laws, the divorce laws, like it's so egregious.
That's part of the problem. Yes.
Yeah. That's got to get
That's
fixed.
absolutely part of the problem.
Yep. Excuse me. And Philip Oliver Holes, great name, says, do not let that kid join the reserves, especially as a 12M. The military privatized firefighter. He's worthless. And 68W makes you a basic EMT. Nothing worthwhile.
You're correct. Unless he wants the GI Bill, then that's a different story. But those jobs are not going to get you anything in the outside world to make a living off of.
Yeah. Sadly, true.
All righty, let me jump over here to the emails here. Let's check the cash apps. Let's see, we got $10 from HKC saying, thanks, guys. Thank you. Let's see, we got one from Matthew, $50 for please toast my uncle. Lost him yesterday. Damn.
Cheers to your uncle, man.
Here's to you. Thank you, good sir. May your uncle, may we see him in Valhalla.
Dude, I'm sorry.
We're not worthy
Sucks to hear that, man. Let's see. We got $20 from Paul. Says, are op paperclip and occupational government linked?
Operation Paperclip. That was kind of crazy. But if we did not secure the scientists for our side, Russia would have done it for theirs. Yeah. So it sucks, but that's just the way it is.
Yep. All right. Let me just do a quick more check here. Looks like no other cash apps came in. Nothing else on the Odyssey side, it looks like. MGTOW.tv is all caught up here. It looks like we had a couple more on Rumble here. Professor Blake coming back says, hey, tell Battledorf that Nancy P is waiting for him in the hot tub and she wants to give him a gummer.
Denture adventure.
That's just wrong.
Hard pass.
Let's see. Net Guy 1975 says, evil stepmother syndrome is an amazing idea.
Yes, it's a good idea.
Yes, it is.
There you go. Let's see. LB Weaver says, I just saw this post from Halbert86 and I couldn't agree more. We need to get more veterans and blue collars into politics.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not kidding when I say the regiment would be a tremendous force in politics. There's a lot of us and we would support one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, next one, Anonymous here says, Battledorf, the creature from Jekyll Island extensively covers the banker funding of the Russian Revolution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. See, MX Stilgar here with $3 says, my older brother is an officer for Boston Police, 43 years on duty. He told me back in 1982 when he was a rookie how discouraged he was apprehending perps only to have liberal judges release them.
Yep.
Shocker. It's totally not like the, the New York City subways are totally safe, even though we just had someone, burned alive and a guy with 47 prior arrests go on a stabby, pokey spree.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Reynard69 says, send a submission for Thursday to Blake's email. Not asking you to play it now, just a note to be sure to get that it gets through. Fairly sure I'm not sending any back. I got from here, but sorry if so. Yep, I will be sure to text Blake in the morning to keep an eye out for his email for you there, Reynard.
All right.
I'll do that. I will do that. And it looks like we got a couple
more on YouTube.
Yep. Let's see here. Count Chad the Impaler here says, Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. I have a sad feeling that 2025 will be very interesting.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
Fan I Am has also another Chinese proverb here. He who angers you controls you.
Yeah.
There is truth in that.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. All right. I'm going to do one more final sweep here. Make sure we're not going to miss anything else, but it looks like we are all caught up. We are all good. So, Pop, I believe it's time for safety briefing.
All right, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out for you. If you absolutely must fornicate, wear a condom because latex saves paychecks. Flush it down the toilet or take it with you because child support does last 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state you're in. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. There's safety in numbers, and maintain your situational awareness. Because if you're going to be attacked, something in the environment will have changed, and it's up to you to see it. Last but not least, I'm sick and tired of throwing you dudes in the dirt because you're taking a permanent solution to temporary problems. Get on your feet. Play the long game. Stay in the fight. And if all else fails, live out a motherfucking spite. Winning. All right.
There you go. Battledorf, final words from you, good sir.
I have a new microphone.
I see it's
seriously
red ring of fire on it.
Tonight we put a GoFundMe up there for a brother who's lost a child. And if you have something that you can give to that, please do. We'll post that link out there again. And then also we read on number 555. Welcome to the regiment, man.
And hit the like and subscribe. We're sick and tired of being algorithm to fucking death. You have to like the video and subscribe. Thank you.
And share it, goddammit. And if you do that, well, you know my spiel. Head on over redonkulas.com. Pick up some new swag. Get yourself a Make Melissdexia Great Again. Spelled the pop way, of course.
My God, that's awful.
It's getting cold out there. Get you a beanie as well.
Nice.
And even then, better yet, get yourself a Hog Hunter hoodie.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Or get yourself, a beer house. I might have to get that one. That one looks, I'm definitely going to have to get one of those beer house hoodies, even though I've got crazy amount of hoodies. Or get yourself a, Redonkulas Regiment hoodie as well. Because, like we said, guys, we live in interesting times and things are getting crazy. So put on a uniform. We'll see you out there in the streets. We'll know you're a good guy, and we'll hang out and have a beer and laugh at all this stupid shit going on.
All right.
Take it easy.
Out.